this weekend, others were losing everything. President Biden was at his beach house, and Vice President Harris was hosting political fundraisers on the West Coast. Is there a reason that they could not be here?
All right, everybody, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
I tell you, man, these videos that be coming out, these resurfaced videos that I've never seen, never heard of. Look, Diddy warns Justin Bieber not to talk about things he did with Big Brother Puff in resurfaced clip.
Got me a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Got me a Lamborghini.
And you see, you got brother Jimmy Kimmel laughing and stuff, but now we know it's a lot deeper than what this video is showing right here. They say they put it right in your face, hiding it in plain sight. That's crazy.
Incriminating evidence allegedly found on a laptop belonging to Biden.
Some sort of Russian disinformation campaign effort.
One eternity later.
Biden emails finally authenticated according to the New York Times.
It's rewind time.
It's a lie.
Altered or fake, unverified emails.
The story did not quite land due to the lack of verification.
It can't be verified.
What can't be verified?
The laptop.
Why do you say that?
Well, because it can't be verified.
Why don't you want to report this? This is one of the most powerful families in Washington.
Liz, I'm a journalist.
Okay, I would love if you guys would start doing that verification.
No, we're not going to do your work for you.
It's a journalist's job.
Not anymore.
For all we know, these emails are made up.
Not really stories, just pure distractions. No serious journalist should fall for it.
It's a journalist's job to find out if this is verified.
The bottom line is we cannot confirm the story.
Experts say the emails cannot be authenticated.
The mainstream media is not reporting on this story because we can't authenticate this material.
The Hunter Biden laptop material is genuine.
This is a classic example of the right-wing media machine.
It just lacks credibility. The fact that it appeared in the New York Post,
the only place low enough to put this orphan bastard story in print.
Obvious disinformation.
It is so obviously a Russian operation.
So obviously disinformation.
So obviously a Russian plot. Tell me why it's so obviously a Russian plot to you.
This is just classic textbook Soviet-Russian tradecraft at work.
Right, exactly. And this is classic, very classic Russian disinformation tactic.
Your classic disinformation campaign.
We shouldn't look at it as anything other than a Russian disinformation operation.
Known Kremlin disinformation.
Russians would be my number one guess.
Obviously, Russia.
Russian disinformation operation.
Russian disinformation.
Pushing Russian disinformation.
It does bear the hallmarks of Russian disinformation.
Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinfo.
Hunter Biden's laptop looks like it's tied to Vladimir Putin in Moscow.
Is that laptop yours?
I don't know. I truly...
You don't know?
The serious answer is that I truly do not know the answer to that.
Did you leave a laptop with a repairman in Wilmington?
Not that you remember. No. I truly don't know.
Are you missing a laptop?
Not that I know of.
What?
This whole operation looks right out of the Kremlin playbook.
The playbook of Russian disinformation.
Russian disinformation put into the haystack.
Russian disinfo.
Sounds like bullshit. I mean, who takes a laptop with their most personal information, drops it off, and never comes back for it?
You read the book and you'll realize that I wasn't keeping tabs on possessions very well for about a 4-year period of time.
A Russian disinformation campaign.
Disinformation from the Russians. Putin is trying very hard to spread disinformation about Joe Biden.
The Biden campaign says this is Russian disinformation.
There's overwhelming evidence that the Russians are engaged. It's a Russian plan.
Russian disinformation.
Nobody believes it except his and his good friend Rudy Giuliani.
So could have been yours.
Of course, certainly.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
History will expose you all as fools and useful idiots for the Russians. The idiocy, the sheer idiocy.
50 former intelligence officials signed on to a letter yesterday saying that the New York Post story about Hunter Biden's emails has all of the classic earmarks of a Russian disinformation campaign.
Russia, Giuliani.
Don't trust anything that he's telling you. This is Russian disinformation.
Russian disinformation campaign. Russian disinformation.
Russian disinformation campaign. Russian disinformation meant to harm our democracy.
Disinformation by the Russians.
The fruits of a foreign intelligence operation.
Part of that bigger Russian disinformation effort.
A Russian intelligence operation.
Connected to an ongoing Russian disinformation.
More to shed light on why that prosecutor was fired and why we want Hunter Biden and Mr. Archer here today.
And so I got Ukraine. And I remember going over convincing our team, or others, to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to the press conference. I said, "No," I said, "I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion." They said, "You have no authority. You're not the president." The president said. I said, "Call him." I said, "I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion." I said, "You're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here." And I think it was 6 hours. I looked. I said, "I'm leaving in 6 hours."
Adults don't assert themselves this way around children. Take a look at the dominance of the conversation. Look at the young Justin Bieber, how nervous and how scared he is. Take a look at the video, and then I'm going to come back and tell you exactly what I see.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out. Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so. Right, okay. My number? Yeah. My number. Yeah.
Justin Bieber, if P. Diddy hurt you in any way, shape, or form, it's your time, pal. This is your moment to shine and rise and make sure that you get involved so this never happens to another kid again. I know it's hard. I know you're in the spotlight. And maybe nothing happened. But rumors don't just stuff flying around like rumors if nothing happened to some sort of degree. If this man hurt you, if this man touched you in any way that you were not comfortable, it's time to speak now to make sure that this never happens again to another child. You have a voice. You have a voice that people will listen to, that children will follow, that judges and a court system will take down a monster if he's guilty of doing what people are saying that he did to you. My heart goes out to you as a son of a great father and as a dad with an incredible boy of 15 years old that I love so much that if anybody touched a hair on his head, it would be Mayday. But let me be very clear that, Justin, you have an opportunity. You have a moment, a blip in time, that if allegedly these rumors are true, that you have a chance to put a monster away. It's your duty. It's your duty to speak up. It'll be an honor to have you by my side.
President Zelensky, because as you know, he backed me up with the phony impeachment hoax number one, when he said the president didn't do anything wrong. So I happened to like. Yeah, that's right. And I was totally exonerated, by the way. Just a waste of time and money.
You were impeached over that. You were impeached over that. But let's stay on topic here, Mr. President, because the question is, would you give Ukraine weapons and funding?
I was impeached by a crazy woman named Nancy Pelosi.
But the question here is, would you give Ukraine weapons and funding if you were elected?
I would sit down. Let me just put it a nicer way. If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
How would you settle that war in one day?
Because I'll meet with Putin, I'll meet with Zelensky, They both have weaknesses and they both have strengths. And within 24 hours, that war will be settled. It'll be over. It'll be absolutely over.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled so we stop killing all these people and breaking down this country.
Stedman, thank you for taking the time to talk with us. These are questions our viewers have sent us. And we know you're an expert in the spread of viruses like the novel coronavirus. And we've heard a lot of theories about how this started. Can you tell us how this one got started?
So exactly how it started, still nobody knows. But one of the great things about this particular coronavirus is it's got a really long sequence, about 300 letters that make up what makes it a virus, really its code, its genome. And just by looking at those letters and comparing them to other viruses that are known, it's pretty clear that this coronavirus has come originally from bats, not absolutely directly from those bats, but the sequences are so similar to each other, there's got to be a bat connection there.
Okay, and Dr. Stedman, I know a lot of people are stuck at home. A lot of people are ordering things online. So a big question we're getting, can the virus...
With China and convened by the World Health Organization about the origins of COVID-19. As Nick Schifrin reports, the researchers call it a starting point, and their critics say it doesn't go far enough.
The virus that caused the worst pandemic in a century most likely started in bats and jumped to humans through an intermediate animal host, possibly a mink, raccoon dog, or a civet, among others, according to the WHO-convened joint study obtained by PBS.
Scientists, government officials, and intelligence agencies at first insisted the virus was natural. Now, more than 3 years on, their cover-ups are being exposed. Key figures are calling out their deception, and they don't like it.
You can do so. Could you tell us about some of your recent discussions, conversations, briefings that you've had with political leaders from the states in question that have asked you what you think? First of all, what did they specifically ask you, if you can tell us, and how did they respond to your answers?
Yes, Colonel McGregor, I had an hour conference call yesterday with the representatives and senators from the Carolinas, and we presented the data to them to answer their questions about how this manipulation occurs. They realized this was not a natural event. They're trying to digest the fact that their states were literally under assault from weather modification operations that are clearly connected with DoD operations, and we can speculate again on the agendas and objectives being carried out, but the fact that the storm was manipulated is absolutely inarguable. We know that technology to stop these rotations from even occurring has existed for decades with the manipulation of atmospheric pressure zones. HAARP in Alaska is one example many people are familiar with. That's an ionosphere heater. That's a weapon of mass destruction, period.
Here's my friend. Here's my friend.
Oh, wow. Hey, North Carolina. Real quick now. I want y'all to listen up. I'm a little ticked off. I just want you to know I'm a little ticked off, and I'm going to tell you why. $750. Oh my. Where American tax dollars is being used to fund illegal aliens into our country. And these illegal aliens didn't pay one dime or one red cent into our systems. And all Kamala Harris and Tampon Timmy want to give us $750? Listen, you all, we only have one choice. One choice, and that's President Donald J. Trump rising up in me. Because you have to vote right so you won't get left again. Vote red, R-E Democrat. They gotta go. They gotta go.